people transact business because they can trust that the transactions are going to be secure from the standpoint of the stability of the dollar or whatever they're exchanging their money in. There's the secrecy of the activity. There's consumer protections as well as, not being able to do things in a illegal fashion. So that takes a lot of regulation. And as you're finding out, regulation is an important part of the financial services world to be able to give people those kinds of protections and earn that trust. So you've indicated already that you want to conform to the regulation to be able to do this and earn that trust. Can you continue to, the first question is, can you continue to innovate and be able to make the changes to this product as it needs to be able to conform to the regulation and still be able to make this work? Do you believe that that can happen?
Congressman, I currently do. I think we'll have to see how this process plays out, but I do, sitting here today.
Are you willing to stop this project if you see that it can't go forward anymore?
Congressman, I will certainly stop Facebook's part of it. The Independent Libra Association is a separate thing that exists at this point, and if I feel like Facebook can't be a part of it in keeping with the principles that I've laid out, then Facebook won't be a part of it.
I want to follow up on Mr. Sherman's line of questioning with regards to the reserve currency. What effect do you think that you get implemented, Libra implemented here, that what this would have on the reserve status of the U.S. dollar?
Congressman, because the reserve will be primarily U.S. dollars, I actually think that a project like this could be important for extending America's financial leadership and to the contrary of the risks that are being pointed out. We have to be careful about all of the risks around financial stability, and there are certain regulators who oversee that, and we're also mindful of that. We want to do something that strengthens America's leadership. But I just think that we can't sit here and assume that because America is today the leader, that it will always get to be the leader if we don't innovate. And innovation means doing new things, okay. And that does mean, and the new things have risks, and we need to address the risks, and we need to be careful in doing that. But I personally worry that if we don't do things like this, whether it's this project or others okay. like it, then eventually we lose our leadership.
My time is, I appreciate the fact that you're pointing out that China is already doing this. That means if we're going to allow them to play in this area, we need to be looking at it as well. And I think right now the Libra says that 50% of the currencies that are in the basket here that they use to set the value of this is a dollar. Is that correct?
Congressman, I don't know if that's been fully finalized, but I think the principle is that it will be primarily
my concern, though, is that right now that's good for the United States. But what happens whenever the board of Libra decides that, the Chinese yuan suddenly is, because of the economy, looks to be a very stable currency and a growing currency and importance in the world, and suddenly they diminish our amount down to 1/3 of the value of the basket of currencies, and now the yuan is 1/3, and suddenly now we have a really big problem from the standpoint that the currency that is being utilized most around the world is the Libra, and we are only 1/3 of that. That to me is concerning. Does that concern you at all? That the association could set this and we would have nothing about it, and it would be a negative effect on our position?
Congressman, that is certainly something that I think we should look at up front. And I can't speak for the Independent Association on this, but I think it would be completely reasonable for our regulators to try to impose a restriction that says that it has to be primarily U.S. dollars. Okay,
one more quick question, and I don't know if the Chairman will give me enough time for you to answer this, but what is the advantage of Facebook to be involved in Libra?
Sorry, what is the advantage of Facebook being involved
of your company, Facebook, to be involved in Libra? What is the end game for you to be able to realize a benefit from this?
Well, Congressman, we build some of the most widely used messaging services around the world, WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. And the vision here is to make it so that people can send money to each other as easily and securely and cheaply as it is to send a text message. So I think that sending money would be a very useful utility to add for people around the world in addition to the messaging products that we have.